So, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening was actually my first real step into the whole franchise. I dabbled a little bit on the NES version, but that was at a friend's house and I played it like twice a year kind of situation. Having this on my Game Boy when I was growing up, I spent countless hours, hundreds, I'm sure as a child, playing this, and I loved it. And to see it remastered and reimagined is awesome. Now, I'll be honest, when I first seen this game announced, I was excited. I was like, oh my gosh, Link's Awakening. I never thought I'd play this again. And then I seen the art style, and at first I was like, oh, I don't like it. I had the same sinking feeling on my stomach as when I see like Wind Waker and those. And I was like, I just don't want to do it. But as I watched some footage and I seen what they were going for, like, okay, I think I can accept this. About 2, almost 3 hours into the game, and all the memories come flooding back to me of where to go, how to fight, where everything is, and just little trinkets here and there, like in the second dungeon on what order to kill the bad guys. I remembered as a child coming up with Bunny Bat Guy, because those are the order you had to kill them in. Spoilers for a super old game, but I always went Bunny Bat Guy. Those would be the 3, and that just triggered all of a sudden. I was like, oh my god, I remember that now. To be honest, the gameplay's great on the Switch, and using a Pro Controller, it flows very well. Soundtrack is awesome, and yeah, I'm really loving the art style. It's almost plastic slash, and this is getting kind of close as like almost like claymation in some objects. When you look at some of the towers and some of the boss areas, it almost looks so plastic that it's like a tabletop game. It's got its own little charm to it. Now, there have been some quality of life improvements from back then. Used to be you only had two slots for items, rather that be a sword and a shield, a sword and the Rock's Feather for jumping, or the bracelet to pick up stuff that's too heavy. Now in Link's Awakening, you have a dedicated button for shield and for sword. Your bracelet for strength is automatically equipped. You don't have to keep putting that on and off. And you're still given the 2 item slots for things like the magic powder and the feather. Fantastic. I am so happy they did this, because I remember spending countless hours flipping between menus, adding this, taking it off, adding this, taking it off situations. But yeah, the game is really good. A lot better than I was expecting. And again, part of that is the nostalgia factor come flooding back in when I started playing this. It handles well. It sounds great. And overall, it functions just how it should. Now, if you look at some of the details, I did notice in some areas, Link's sword almost had some artifacting going on. And I have noticed maybe a frame rate drop or 2 along the way, but nothing so detrimental that I have to go, all right, guys, come on, get this fixed. Those things hopefully will get buffed out with a patch. But to be honest, yeah, it's definitely worth playing. If you've never played this game, there is a couple things throughout the game that are going to kind of confuse you maybe. One of the big things is the trading in the game. You're going to get an item that's going to lead you to another item, that's going to lead you to another item, and you just got to keep going through the chains of, okay, where do I take? Why do I have this? What the heck is it? And what good is it going to do me? You'll figure it out. That's the only real thing. Besides that, if you've played any Legend of Zeldas, this is going to flow right into your fix that you need. At $60, and there's going to be tons of people arguing about this. To be honest, at $60, I think it's so far really worth it. And here's why. Resident Evil 2, prime example. A game that was not only just remastered, but reimagined with today's graphics, art style, and gameplay functions. And you look at this, a Game Boy game, a game that was, barely any colors to it. It was green screened, basically. And how they've made it to this. So far, all the dialogues, as far as I can tell, is identical from what I remember as a child to where items are and where to go next. It all just come flowing back to my brain like an old memory, and I'm welcoming it like an old friend. And that's a great, great analogy for this game. It's welcoming an old friend, and I'm super happy Link's Awakening came to us. So that's my first impressions over Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening on the Nintendo Switch. If you're interested in some gameplay footage, check out the link to your left. That'll lead you to the no commentary playthrough going on. And if you'd like to see some more content, check out the link to the right. That'll take you to the channel to open you up to tons and tons of videos going on over there. Until next time, you guys, stay frosty.